Once upon a time, there was a city named Adonis. The city of Adonis was built upon a single truth: beauty is everything. A person's worth, their fate, and even their right to exist were determined by the sacred mirror, an ancient artifact said to hold the wisdom of the gods. At the age of 16, every citizen stood before the mirror and received their eternal rank, a decree that would shape their destiny. The mirror's judgment could not be defined and its ranking were absolute. The first rank is Orit, the highest and rarest rank granted only to those of divine beauty. The Orit were flawless, perfect symmetry, ethereal features, smooth and radiant skin untouched by scar or blemishes. Their eyes gleam like gemstones, their hair shimmer like spun gold, and their presence alone could siren a room. The Orit light among mortals, draped in the finest silks, crowned with gold and jewels, and worshipped by the people of Adonis. They were given willpower and complete freedom. The second rank is Viridian, the middle rank assigned to those deemed pleasing but not extraordinary. A Viridian could be attractive in many ways: soft features, kind eyes, a charming smile, but they lacked the divinity of the Orit. They could have slight imperfections, a jawline not quite sharp enough, hair that did not gleam, a beauty that faded under harsh light. Viridians were accepted, respected, and allowed to live decent lives, but they were never worshipped. They could work in the art, business, and society, but they would always be beneath the Orit. The last one is Unseen, the lowest and cruelest fate. To be judged unseen was to be released. The mirror deemed them unworthy or beautiful, not necessarily ugly, but insignificant. And unseen could be plain, asymmetrical, too tall or too short, too thin or too broad. They could have skin marred by scar, freckle, or birthmarks. Their eyes were said to lack light, their features deemed forgettable, once labeled unseen. They were no longer acknowledged by society. Shopkeepers ignored them, family abandoned them, and their names were never spoken again. They became shadows, wandering the street of Adonis like ghosts in a world that refused to see them.
The grand hall is silent as Yoshida steps forward. A massive silver mirror towers before her. A high priest stands beside it, his voice echoing through the chamber.
Yoshida of House Renai stepped forward and faced the judgment of the sacred mirror.
The mirror's growing intensifies. The clowns lean in. Then the words appear, etched in glowing letters. Unseen. A gasp spread through the crowd. Whisper rippled like rave. Woman in a crown. Unseen?
She has no beauty, no presence. She is nothing.
Yoshida stares, frozen, her breath chasing in her throat. She turned to her mother, hoping for comfort, but even she looked devastated.
The judgment has been made. Let it be known. Yoshida is unseen.
People began turning away, not out of disgust, but as if she had already faded from existence. Yoshida reached out, desperate.
Wait, I'm still here.
No one responds. Even her mother lowered her head and stepped back.
No, this isn't real.
But it is. And from that moment on, Yoshida is invisible to the world. Days turn into weeks. Yoshida wanders the city, unseen, ignored, starving. She stumbled into the outer slums, where those cast aside by the mirror reside. Among them is Kael, a boy with a scarred face, leaning against a broken column. You look like someone who just learned the truth about Adonis.
The truth.
That it doesn't matter who you are, what you dream of, or what kind of person you try to be. The only thing that matters is what that Chris Miller said about you.
I am unseen. No one even look at me.
I got worse. I'm unworthy. Yoshida stared at the jagged scar on his cheek.
Did the miller do that to you?
No, the people did. They see an unworthy face and suddenly I'm less than human. Yoshida lowered her gaze.
I used to think the miller told the truth.
We all did. Once. But tell me this, Yoshida. If the mirror decides beauty, then why do the most powerful people benefit from its judgment? Like, why do the same families always ends up on the top?
Because they were born beautiful.
Or maybe the mirror isn't magic at all. Maybe it's just a trick. A lie that keeps them in power and keeps us in the shadow. Yoshida clenches her fist. She has spent her whole life believing the mirror was fair. But now, doubt crept in.
Then why does everyone believe it?
Because it's easier. If the mirror say you're worthless, then no one has to feel guilty for treating you that way.
Then what do we do?
We break it. Yoshida looks up, eyes widening. That night, under the cover of darkness, Yoshida and Kael sneak into the grand hall. The mirror stands, glowing with an eerie light.
I can't believe we are doing this.
Believe it, unless you rather stay invisible forever. Yoshida grips the heavy stone in her hands. Her heart pounds. The mirror had controlled her life, her fate, and now she would decide her own. Do it! Yoshida raises the stone and hurls it with everything she has. The impact sent cracks splintering across the mirror surface. The glow flickers, then shatters into 1,000 pieces. A deep silence filled the air. Then suddenly, the people of Adonis, roused by the noise, rush into the hall. Their reflections scatter across the broken shards. And for the first time, they see themselves differently, not as beautiful or ugly, but as human. I look different.
What's the miller lying?
The high priest stumbled in, horrified at the destruction.
What have you done?
I ended the lie.
The high priest turned to the people, desperate.
Don't listen to her. The mirror was sacred. Without it, how will we know who is worthy, who is beautiful?
A long silence. Then a woman from the crowd stepped forward.
Maybe we decided for ourselves.
Murmurs spread. The people began to truly see each other for the first time, not through the mirror's judgment, but through their own eyes. Looks like Adonis is waking up. Yoshida looked down at the shattered mirror, then at her own reflection in the broken glass. And for the first time, she doesn't see unseen. She sees herself. As the sun rises over Adonis, the city is forever changed. The people no longer live by the mirror's judgment, and those one cast aside begin to reclaim their place in society. Kael nudges Yoshida. So, what now? A savior of Adonis?
Now we build something better.
She steps forward into the new world she helped create. No longer unseen, no longer invisible, just Yoshida.